In this edition of Whiteboard Weather, we are talking about Easter. We are talking about the snowfall this past season. How much did we get? And are we above, below average? All that coming up after this. We got a whiteboard, and of course we have some weather, so let's get into it. First, updating our snow ruler, and we did not get any snow this past week, except for just a couple of lake effect flurries, so no need to do that. And before you comment anything, I did try to draw a bunny. I'm not an artist, okay? That's not the point of this. I try to draw things that are good enough, and this kind of looks like a mix between a dog and a bunny, but we'll get through it. So basically what I want to start off this episode with is a little bit going on the Easter egg hunt for those warmer temperatures. So I have a handy dandy cheat sheet here, and I want to talk about the weather over the last 2 weeks. I have the high temperatures, and of course high temperatures aren't always indicative of what exactly happened that day, but here it is, dating back about 2 weeks ago. So we had 76, that broke a record high. 77, that also broke a record high. The day after that,
63, so we cooled off a little bit. This is not going to be to scale. The day after that, 43 degrees. The day after that, we were at 45 degrees, 48 degrees, so we were warming up. 68 degrees, 33 degrees, 35 degrees. Then the next day we were at, is this engaging? 47 degrees, 59 degrees, a little bit of hope. Then 50 degrees. Then 63 degrees. And then 44 degrees. So, yeah.
if you take a line, these are kind of all over the place. And that's what our weather has been like. Warm one day, cold another. And some of these were fake highs and fake lows. So sometimes the high peaked in the morning and then went down. But yeah, this is the type of weather we've been getting, kind of the zigzag pattern of temperatures. But things do warm up here in the upcoming week. But good thing we're not talking about that. Let's talk about the snowfall this season, because in the last 5 weeks, we've only received 2 inches of snow in the WNEP backyard. We received as much rain as we have snow, so things are beginning to change. And I put stars here based on where I have reports are of. So I'm going to get a red marker, and I'm going to get a green marker here. And wherever I draw the, let's put it like that. We have to have a cheat sheet. I can't memorize all these numbers. Okay, let's start with our backyard. As we know, we've gotten 37.8 inches in our backyard. In fact, that's exactly average. So I'm going to mark it with a blue. So here we go. 37.8 inches in the WNEP backyard. Next, we got to talk about Williamsport. Williamsport has been much below average. 20 inches of snow so far this season. That is below average by 13 inches. So yeah, the Williamsport, a lack of snow. Let's head off towards Erie, because they also have seen below average snowfall. For them so far this year, they've seen 74. Imagine 74 inches being below average. That's been below average by 22 inches. So below average by 22. They usually almost get 100 inches of snow per year. And of course, we could see a little bit more snow, but we're pretty much locked into these numbers for the most part. Next, we got to talk about Pittsburgh. Now, Pittsburgh, still on the west side of the state, 52 inches, and that was above average by 10 inches. So, I mean, just picture, right? When you're giving a snowfall forecast, you're like, oh, all of Pennsylvania is going to be above, below average, equal higher chances. And we have, just within 200 miles, some place being well below normal and then some place being well above normal. So things, forecasts aren't always 100%. And it's really impacted by big snow events. For example, Philly, 30 inches of snow this year. About half of that coming within one event, so they were above average by about 8 inches of snow. So again, kind of topsy-turvy. And then if you live in Allentown, we may have some viewers there in the Lehigh Valley. I want to include you. You were about average with 35 inches of snow. So yeah, 35 inches. And then Mount Pocono didn't, for some reason, report this year. There's some missing data, so we don't have data for that. So there is a snapshot of Pennsylvania. If you want to leave, you can leave, but I want to talk about other places, which is kind of fun. So next we got to talk about Buffalo. Buffalo this year, 93 inches, which is just at about normal. I think about an inch above normal. So anything within an inch of normal, I'm just calling normal, right? I think that's fair. But we got to talk about Syracuse. They were much above normal this year. 141 inches of snow due to the proximity to Lake Ontario. That was about 19 inches above normal. So there's your New York update. This video would be like 20 minutes long if I included Albany, if I included all these certain places, but I want to include New York City as well. That big blizzard, that made them above average. Their snowiest season in a while. New York City reporting 43 inches of snow in Central Park, and that was 16 inches above normal. So you can see the climate. You can see the climate here. So 43 inches, well above normal. 74 inches, well below normal. So, yeah, it changes with all that. Next, we got to mention Boston because they were also well above normal. 63 inches of snow, and that is 17 inches above average for a snow season. In fact, just 2 years ago, they had 9 inches of snow the entire season. So, Boston, congratulations, you were above average. I did not end up looking up areas towards Vermont, but I got to mention now Baltimore, which they got 18 inches of snow, which is about average. So, yeah, that's all the reporting stations I looked for. Let's see, Erie, yeah, that's... Oh, and then Binghamton. I want to mention Binghamton, too. So, Binghamton, our National Weather Service office in Binghamton, they reported 75 inches of snow, right? Got to get the right marker out. And that was below normal by 10 inches. So take a look at this gradient here, which I think is fascinating. 141 inches, 75, 37, 35, 30, in a span about 400 miles, and then 18. So that's a gradient there of snowfall. So thanks so much for tuning in to this edition of Whiteboard Weather. If you want to see maybe another town, you want me to include Albany, or wanted me to include Montpelier or something like that, or curious about your town, if it's in a near major reporting site, maybe I'm curious about Cleveland or something like that, let me know and I'll give you that information on YouTube in the comments. Okay, a little bit of an update. I usually don't do this, but I was just very curious to see what the other reporting stations are like. So Cleveland, 50 inches, that was 10 inches below average. We also had Albany, 58 inches, which is about average. Up towards Vermont, 80 inches of snow, which is about average, 3 inches below. And then Atlantic City, that big blizzard, you could see that made the season above average. Atlantic City, 26 inches, which is 9 above average. And I think that was all I added to the map. But yeah, thanks for tuning in to the end of the episode. Made it fun. Okay, see you next week.